Hey guys, Tana Ashley here, and today I'm going to talk to you about how you can get and stay fit by rewiring your body. And I know what you're probably thinking. I don't want to have to do some crazy diet or some new crazy trend or some fancy, long, hardcore workout where I'm going to be sweating my non-existent balls off. Don't worry, we're not going to be doing any of that. This is truly going to get to the root issue that majority of women deal with. And men, if you're watching this, sorry, I only work with women because I do specialize in hormone health, and that is one thing we will be diving into. A lot of women don't know that you should be fasting, eating, and training with your hormonal cycle for the best results. A lot of coaches don't know that either, which is why majority of America loses that 5 pounds only to gain it back. Has that ever happened to you? I was stuck in that cycle for 6 years, so I understand. It took me forever to drop that 40 pounds, and eventually I was able to get it off through understanding my body better, but then I got pregnant. I gained 42 pounds, and at first I was like, oh. But then I was like, I already know what works for my body. Like, I'm gonna be fine. So I really dove into hormone health at that point because I knew my hormones are gonna be out of whack. That changes a lot of things. And majority of women don't take into consideration where their hormones are, what hormones really need to be nurtured during the weight loss journey. And that is super, super important. But then they also miss that piece of actual gut health. So if your body is surging and pumping out all these hormones, but your gut health is off, your body can't actually break down your hormones and put them to good use. So you need to make sure that gut health and hormone health are all dialed in. So now you're probably wondering, like, okay, is this for me? Like, I don't know. So if you have been dealing with bloating, constipation, gas, you feel tired, drained, you're gaining belly fat, thighs, back of the arms, those are all signs of hormonal imbalances. And maybe you don't have those signs. Maybe you're having insane mood swings. You can't sleep at night. Your moods are all over the place. Not moods, irritability. That's what I was trying to say. I know I already said mood swings. So, but if you're feeling irritable, stuff of that sort, you just don't feel like yourself anymore, that is also a sign that your hormones are all out of whack. So let's dive in, let's figure out how you can balance out those hormones and make sure your gut health is dialed in so you can put those hormones to good use and get back to feeling like the old you. So first things first, we need to look at gut health. Gut health is so important, and so many times people think, oh, I don't need to do anything with my gut, it takes care of itself. No. Over time, taking antibiotics, antacids, eating too much processed food, alcohol, that all throws off our gut microbiome. And a lot of times we end up with too much bad bacteria. That's where the bloating, the gas, not being regular, that's where all of that comes in. So if your gut is backed up, your body's not going to be able to break down the hormones. Your body's not going to be able to break down the foods and take in the nutrition that you actually need in order to see those results. So with my program, I make sure that every single person starts off with a gut reset. And there's 5 different ways to go about it. So no matter what you're doing in your life, you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, I'm too busy to do a gut reset. I don't have time to do something so hardcore. You can literally knock it out within 24 hours with a quick fast. You could do some bone broth. You could do vegan, vegetarian style, whatever your thing is, carnivore or overall balance. So it is a very simple process as long as you are guided correctly. And during this time, make sure you're not taking any probiotics during your gut reset, because if you have too much bad bacteria, those probiotics are actually going to be feeding that bad bacteria as well as the good. And you don't want more bad bacteria. And the whole point of the gut reset is to get rid of it, or not fully get rid of it, but minimize it. That way we have a nice balance. And then once we move out of that gut reset, we go into hormone balancing. A lot of people don't understand, but our hormonal cycle is broken down into 3 parts. So we have different times in the month where each of our hormones, so estrogen, testosterone, and progesterone, they're all surging at different times of the month. They are broken down into these 3 phases. So that's why during certain times of the month, you feel so amazing, you feel so motivated, like on it. You know, it's the time when your testosterone's pumping. And then there's times where you feel like, okay, I could do keto diet for the rest of my life. This is awesome. Because you're in this phase where you're a better fat burner. And then you come down to this phase where, guess what? Like, you need to actually chill. You need more carbs during this phase. You know, and I'll jump into this more when we talk on the phone, just because I need to know your actual hormonal cycle. Some people, you know, they think, oh, hormones don't matter to me because I don't get a cycle anymore. That's not true at all. It's actually, your hormones are still surging even if you don't have a cycle. So you need to make sure that you're still nurturing those hormones to take advantage of your body and actually dive into that fat burning mode, turn into the sugar burner. So we have the fat burner, the sugar burner, and I will really tell you how to take advantage of that on our call. So then that way you understand for your body, because most women, we all have different cycles. Like, majority of people have 28 days to 30, but there are some people where it's longer, it's shorter, and we need to customize that for you for the best results. So, but with this is like truly what changed my life. And even just recently, I screwed up. So, and this is a huge no-no, like, I was on birth control, and there was just no reason for me to be on birth control. If you're on birth control, like, no judgment, I don't care what you do with your body. But I was on birth control out of just straight habit. And I had taken my birth control pack upside down, and I didn't realize it. So after I take it upside down, I'm like, hey. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh shit. So then I tried catching up with the days up here. And I'm like, oh, so I take like 3 or 4 birth control pills at once. So it was like literally hormone overload. I broke out with hormonal acne. I gained 10 pounds. And at first I kind of freaked out because I'm like, I ate way too many crumble cookies. I don't know what to do with my life. And then I was like, I know what to do. Like, oh my gosh. So I just went straight into a gut reset. I went into the hormone balancing. I detoxed my body from the synthetic hormones, and I'm back to normal. So this can help literally anyone. I truly believed I was down a path of early menopause, and I just had to accept where it was, and it is what it is. But that wasn't the case. It was, a lot of times we'll feel very, very defeated, and we want to give up, especially when our hormones are super jacked. So I was in that phase, and all of a sudden I was like, I know what to do. All I have to do is actually do it. So I just recently did this again, and it helped massively, corrected my hormones pretty much immediately. So it was a huge blessing, because it was like back to myself. I felt good. The weight was off. My face cleared up, like happy. So if that is something that you really want to dive into and understand, especially with the gut health, the hormone health, those are the 2 main things that women really need in order to see the results they desire. And not just see them, but actually keep them. There's so many women that I talk to, and it's like, oh yeah, well, you know, 5 years ago, I was really happy with my body, and then, I don't know, life got in the way. That's why it's so important to set up your life and do little habits to help you dial these things in for the rest of your life. You know, that's one reason why I didn't panic too much after being pregnant. I was like, okay, well, I already have my habits dialed in. I know what works for my body. I understand hormones. I understand gut health. Like, we're good to go. So if you're ready to get your dream body and keep it, then go ahead, book below. All you have to do is pick a day and a time that work best for you. Fill out the simple application, and we will be diving into more hormonal questions, more gut health questions, so that way I can really help you customize and get you on a path to true success. So I can't wait to talk with you. And you know, a lot of women will come to these calls and they're like, TMI, and I'm like, there is no TMI here, okay? Like, I was just talking about constipation, gas, bloating, like all of that on here, okay? There is no such thing as TMI when we are talking about gut health and hormone health, okay? Also, I have a toddler, so let me just remind you of how many poop stories I really have, okay? But I truly appreciate your time. I look forward to talking with you and helping you drop that weight for good.